Okay guys, not sure when you're gonna get hit with this video, but this is the very first part of my winter planting for the year. We first need to start off by amending that whole area. It really didn't allow things to grow very well this summer because it was kind of waterlogged and the soil's not the highest of quality. It's still quite clay-like, but I'm going to amend that again, and we're going to try and get some broccoli and cauliflower in there, which are supposed to do all right in clay soil, and hopefully the roots will help kind of break up the clay a little bit more. I'm going to start weeding and then we'll plant after that. It has been a while since I've shown you this section of my garden. It has been quite tough going. Not much grew here this year, which I wasn't really expecting it to, because this is the first year that we've had this section of my garden, and it had just been transformed from thistles and really tough weeds into garden beds that I knew that it was going to lack luster. The soil out here is really not good, and I haven't done too much to amend that soil besides put in some blood and bone and a little bit of compost. But in actuality, this area needs a lot of compost, which you'll see I still don't add in much this season. So it will take a few years for this soil to really transform into something nice and rich and beautiful. Alright, so I have just brought over some blood and bone fertilizer and some compost I had left over. And I'm just going to mix in some blood and bone and some compost into the soil here before I put in some of my broccoli and cauliflower. Not the ideal time to be watering or planting. It's midday, but we are going to get these in anyway. I'm sure they'll be fine. So I have some white cloud cauliflower and some green dragon broccoli. So these already look like they're kind of a bit long, but we're gonna get them in the ground. These are meant to be placed about 1.5 or 2 feet apart, so I'm just going to try and put one right in this corner here. What I might do is dig out some of the spaces for them first and then put them in after. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Right in the corner here. So I've got some cardboard in here because last winter I covered this whole bit. I dug out all the grass that was here and put in some cardboard on top to get the rest of the roots to kind of die out, and I've turned it into a garden bed. I had hoped that the ground would be a little bit better than it was, but these cauliflower and broccoli should do well out here though. So you can tell the soil is still quite chunky. It takes a bit to kind of break it apart. So hopefully by next spring it will be a little bit better. I still probably won't plant tomatoes in it next year, but I might plant some crops that just do a little bit better with the thicker soil. I could probably do, well, I did corn in the other in-ground bed that I have to break up the soil there, and that did really well. I'm just gonna take these 2 tomato plants down to the other garden and find a spot for them. And we'll see if maybe they can do something before it gets too cold for them. Okay, we're back over in the vineyard and I'm just onto the next section now. So it's the strawberry patch right there, and oh my gosh, so the strawberries, I was going to take them up and move them somewhere else, but they're coming back to life, so we're gonna leave them. If they really start to die over winter, I might dig them up and put them elsewhere, but for now we're just gonna weed all of that out. I have weeded this side of the garden already, so the weeds aren't too bad, but that side over there has not been weeded at all because I've had that netting over the top of it, so that one's gonna be a bit more of a pain, but I'm gonna take that netting off. There is this vining plant that it sets down, it grows, and then it starts to set down roots on every single node as it grows along the ground, and it's terrible because I found it all over the place.
I'm just grabbing some of the cardboard that I have, and I'm going to lay it over one of these pathways just to suppress some of the weeds from growing back in because they are so terrible. Don't mind my garden border. These random pieces of wood I found lying around that I'm just using as a temporary garden edging.
Honestly, with this last section back here, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. I know that next spring I'm going to want to plant into that, and in theory I should, you know, dig out all those weeds and amend the soil, but instead I think I'm just going to chop down some of the higher grass and weeds growing and just toss some cardboard over it and just be done with it until springtime.
Then hopefully when springtime comes, all the grass and weeds underneath this cardboard will be dead and gone, and I can just kind of make it into a nice path and little planting area where maybe I can plant my cucumbers or some flowers there.
All right guys, so we have finished amending the vineyard garden. That was like a big task I didn't want to do, but that's all set and ready, and we have some of our winter crops planted in there. But there's one more thing that I want to show you. It's a little addition to our current garden that has always been here, but we just didn't know about it. So over in this next little field, Freya and I did start to clear some of this out, which I'll insert the video here. All right, we were able to get through the vineyard garden and clear a really nice entrance over there. I think I actually made it a little bit wider than what you last saw on the video, but now we're headed into this next part, and I'm just gonna start to clear all of this out, and I hope Freya will join me during this part. I think I'm just gonna clear a little bit of a path down there, and then maybe when we get down there, I'll open it up a little bit more. We don't know what we're doing. We're gonna get the wheelbarrow down here and hopefully we can clear a better path.
Now, you may be asking yourself, what the heck are we planning and scheming and working towards here? Well, friends, we are working ourselves down to a gold mine.
That whole field, all of that there, they are blackberries. We have a huge blackberry patch that we didn't even know was here. It doesn't look like they're quite ready yet, but there are heaps in there that are growing. Oh, I see one right there in front of us. We'll come down this side path because I just tried to go in to the bush the other way and nearly tore my legs open. Oh, these don't seem to be as ripened yet. Oh, and these are dying off here. When all of this starts to kind of die back, what I want to do is to get in there and kind of cut pathways in there. And I think that will be a really cool idea. So next summer, we can actually walk through, well, down that way there, just straight down, and then just kind of cut through the blackberry bushes, so have lots and lots of paths. And yes, that will cut into the blackberries, but it will also allow us to have access to so many more grand ideas I have. I may need some help. Hopefully Allie will help me. I know Freya will, because she's very keen to be getting into these blackberries. Let's head out of here. See if I can get out of this little place back here. It's very steep. And we'll head back into the main garden. Okay, I need to cut this video right here for just a second. It is the next day, but Allie was out here last night and did something really special for me. I was working out in the Vineyard garden. Well, he did this. So he was fixing the fence last night so the dog couldn't jump over it, and decided to take this whole section out and create a beautiful, beautiful gate for me. So I no longer have to hop over the fence. I can just unlatch and walk in to my garden. So I just wanted to show you guys this because I am so excited to have a beautiful gate now to walk through, rather than having to climb over that fence each time. But let's shoot back to the end of this video. Yeah, so you guys helped me amend my vineyard garden today and got to see the new part of our garden that we hope to kind of add in. But that, I think, is it for today. I'm gonna go in and grab some water, take a bit of a break, and I'll catch you in the next one.